10 seconds left. Oh my god. Alright, let's see what you got, Xbox. I know you've kind of already announced the games that we're coming with, but, you know, it's nice that developer showcases are actually different. Like, they're showing a lot of identity with it. Hopefully it's not too loud for everybody else. Four studios. Upside, Ninja, Obsidian, and I couldn't tell what the other one was called. Coming to Xbox, okay. So that's not even a guarantee that it's exclusive, maybe? The indie game, the indie Indiana Jones game. I have no idea how that's gonna turn out. Let's see what they're dealing with.
Welcome to Obsidian Entertainment. I'm so proud to share with you our upcoming fantasy action RPG, Avowed. Avowed is an adventure into the heart of the living lands, a frontier at the edge of the known world, where you must put a stop to a mysterious spiritual plague and discover a secret at the heart of the living lands.
Reminds me of Kenna.
At Obsidian, we love creating worlds with deep themes, dynamic gameplay, and thoughtful reactivity. And Avowed is no different. We set out to blend the believable and fantastical to give players a world and experience like no other. It's colorful, it's vibrant, it's strange. It's one of the most incredible settings in the world of Aora. There's going to be a lot of great secrets to discover, one of which has a really personal connection to you as the player character, and you're going to have a great time getting to know those secrets and leaving your mark on the world. And when it comes to encounters, our combat brings the best of the moment-to-moment fun that comes with action-oriented gameplay and the depth and breadth of choice that you get with an RPG.
Very much like Skyrim.
Here to talk more about Avowed's combat is Gabriel Paramo, gameplay director.
Here at Obsidian, our team's overarching goal is to empower you with choice. So we developed a flexible combat system that allows you to quickly swap from spellcasting and sharpshooting to melee combat.
Yeah, this is definitely Skyrim.
We want to give you the freedom to mix and match your loadout to fit the way you want to play.
This basically looks like Skyrim. This looks like Skyrim too.
You can combine a variety of weapons, attacks, and abilities for tactical advantages against a wide range of enemy types. It's not just hacking and slashing. You're making real-time decisions about when to use your abilities, powerful melee attacks, blocks, parries.
I mean, it's not a bad thing by any stretch, but it's definitely just
attacks.
Skyrim too.
If you choose to approach combat with a one-handed wand, it feels quick and snappy
Finally,
when
Skyrim
doing damage
2.
to
Happy
enemies
Valky.
at mid-range. Using the Tanglefoot
Happy
ability,
Thursday.
you can stop enemies in their tracks, giving you the opportunity to focus on weaker or tougher combatants in an intentional and controlled manner. It's important to pay attention to the types of enemies you're dealing with. Some units are extremely defensive, some are brutishly difficult, and others you must make sure you
Skyrim 2 with a
prioritize,
lot
or their
more
healing capabilities will put you in a tough spot.
artistic. It's
To help
got
with the
more
different
of an art
encounters you will
style.
face, we provide customizable loadouts that can be quickly switched during combat. That means you can play however you want.
Tekken 9 looking
Equip a sword and
crazy. The new
shield
camera
and
angles
charge
was a
into
bold
battle.
move for her.
Dual-wield pistols and control the encounter mid-range. Or even dual-wield wands to feel like a gunslinging mage. You
mean
could use your
gunslinging
enchanted
Harry
wand
Potter,
to
yeah.
freeze enemies, and then use your offhand weapon's power attack to shatter them. We've worked hard to keep you constantly engaged as battles unfold by creating a balance between pressure
I was
and
wondering what that
manageability
noise
during
is.
combat.
It's my fan.
Players will have ample choices for how to build and progress their envoy in the world of the living lands as they get to know the game.
Doing
and
great.
the
Hype
story
for
and
Power
explore
World
the
tomorrow.
many
Gonna be so
diverse
funny.
regions.
I'm hoping it's as good as it
Some
is.
quests
Miss
in
Bubble
Avowed
says
will
it's really
have you
good.
make difficult decisions with profound consequences. Like this side quest you may encounter in Shatterscarp, the third region you'll explore on your journey through the living lands. As you're exploring, you
I'm
come
not sure
across
what
the
to do.
bodies of these fallen soldiers. And as you explore the remains of the battle, it's up to you to determine who, if anyone, is at fault.
Hopefully you guys can't hear that.
Just the 4 of us. Manu, Kiri, Naoki, and me. Training under Captain Ruiki. Trying to keep Thirdborn safe.
In other words, you're a gang of vigilantes. Not that I'm one to judge.
Here. Take my badge. Take everyone's. Our families deserve to know we fought.
Not going well for me.
Making the right choice isn't always what it seems. We embrace moral nuance and gray areas, trusting
may have
players
to
to make
restart
tough
this.
decisions in complicated situations.
My squad and I rested in the cave by the water last night, and
Oh,
as we
it
were
seems to have
sleeping, we
stopped.
were ambushed by those miserable Zorips. I was so surprised.
Apologies.
It was so dark. I just got separated from everyone else. Look, I can't face those monsters alone, but I have to know if anyone else made it out. Of course he did. Sergeant Asui never has a thought he won't say out loud. So what did he tell you? That Captain Ruiki was sick? That I was paranoid? That I was a dumb baby?
Now he's speaking
I heard it
angrily.
all often and loud.
Oh, they've added closed captions?
If you found Sergeant Asui, why is he not here with you? What happened?
At the end of the quest, you have a choice. When you confront Private Naoki, if you believe the story he's told you, you can hand over the badges and let him go back home.
You're right. Real battle isn't something you can prepare for, is it? It's not my fault. No, they should have never have camped in the cave. I'll take the badges. I'm going back to Thirdborn.
But if you confront him, if you believe that he fled the site of the battle as an act of cowardice, then he might challenge you to a fight to reclaim his honor. Either way, when you return to town, you'll see the consequences of your actions and the choices you made during this quest. Creating an immersive experience like Avowed is anchored in the world we build. Art director Matt Hansen and the team have worked to create a unique, colorful, and dynamic visual
We've got one
style.
more week till Tekken
From
8
the
as well,
outset,
Pia
we
Valkyrie.
knew
Sorry, I
that
didn't
we
mean to
wanted
seem
Avowed setting to feel
to go
rich,
silent there.
weird, and wonderful. We found inspiration in a wide
Dwarves.
swath of real-world cultures, helping us create a unique RPG experience. By contrasting the vibrant with the dull, or verdant spaces with sickly ones, we can better deliver complex emotional experiences for our players. The Living Lands is a continent of untamed valleys with widely varied biomes, from luxuriant forests to volcanic wastes. And each of those regions itself is a conflux of storied landscapes. All of the regions have a lot of special things associated with them, but I have a deep place in my heart for Shatterscarp. As you're wandering the wastes of Shatterscarp, you might notice off in the
wondering
distance
how this
a
is
vibrant jewel of color.
I
By
feel like anyone who's a
transitioning from
Skyrim fan,
destitute,
how they
muted
feel about this,
tones
because it
of a
literally just
wasteland
feels
of
like Skyrim
sand
2.
and marching in towards a beautiful oasis. There's the opportunity there for
Is there really a
life,
need to do
for
a Sky
adventure,
to an
and
Elder
even a
Scrolls
little
6 if
danger.
this exists? It's like a cross between Skyrim
We hope
and
you've enjoyed this look at
Sea of
Avowed.
Thieves style
We're
game.
thrilled to share more
art
about the
style.
game in the coming months, and we can't wait for you to explore the Living Lands when Avowed launches this fall.
It just works, yeah. Oh wow, that's a really cool artwork. I'm wondering. I hope they make that as the fall 2024. Okay. Respectable. 2024. Okay, they've started off strong. Avowed. I like this gimmick as well because it shows what you're gonna get into, and it's got this sort of like old school concept art feel. Okay, Ninja Theory. They're gonna show us Senwa's Sacrifice. Darwin Green, Ninja House.
Hi, I'm Don Matthews, studio head here at Ninja Theory in Cambridge, UK. We're now in the final months of development
I forgot
on
that
Senua's
Ninja
Saga
Theory is based in
Hellblade
the
2,
UK.
and the team is working hard to bring you an unforgettable journey
I thought it was
into
European
Senua's
in the
unique
sense of
world
it
and
was
her battle for
outside of
survival,
UK.
where we have once again combined high fidelity
Oh,
and
hi
immersive presentation
everyone. Hi,
with a shorter,
Dunziva.
narrative-led
How's it going, man?
experience that focuses on the things that we really care
We're doing
about.
okay. We're 1 week
and that
away
we
from
hope
Tekken,
you
and we're just
care
checking
about
out
too.
the Xbox Developer Showcase. Although my fan seems to be wanting to say hello constantly today.
Do you see how the pitiless world stamps you down?
Senua is back with a new quest. She wants to stop the
Melanie
Vikings who raided her
Jurgens,
village
the
right at
person
their source
who does all
in
the mocap
Iceland.
for
But not just her
Senua.
quest has changed. Senua herself has grown since the first Hellblade. She's made peace with her past and is no longer in such fear of her visions and voices. While the Furies are still her constant companions, she encounters new people along the way, some of which will value her unique perspective, and others who will reject it.
Little by little, this settlement became my tribe.
In the game, Senua arrives in 10th century Iceland on the trail of the Vikings who have been enslaving her people. In the story, we're trying to be as faithful to history as we can up to a point, establishing a solid framework and then building more surreal elements on top.
Have you
Senua
ever watched the
face up
developer
to
showcase on Xbox,
giants who
Danzaiva?
have plunged the land into chaos, and which in turn has seen the rise of the Droiga, a violent threat that has swept through the settlements that she'll discover. Senua will make new enemies and also new allies who will come to see her unique perspective as a beacon of hope. And she'll discover, along with us, how this viewpoint can have its advantages.
Senua is a Celtic warrior who experiences psychosis, seeing things that other people don't, hearing voices, and having unique beliefs about the world around her. To bring Senua's perspective of the world to life in a truthful way, we have once again worked closely with Professor Paul Fletcher at the University of Cambridge, as well as people with lived experience of psychosis.
What does that mean? What does that mean? It's terrifying.
Players will find themselves traversing beautiful and hostile environments, seeking answers from patterns and signs that Senua sees in her own unique way, and battling through encounters with enemies that will push Senua to her limits.
On Saga, we've taken everything to the next level. With a new motion capture space, a bigger stage team, a stunt crew, and a new cast.
We spent a lot of time planning the motion capture shoots, thinking of what events would be good to bring into this fight. Like, how can we make this fight feel different from the previous fight? We have all new combat for the sequel. One of our key goals was the ability to actually tell a story throughout it. It does feel very different from the first game, but it's very brutal and you're very invested in it. Senua isn't a superhero. She's fighting for survival, and we want the player to feel her struggle in every step of her journey. We want the player to always feel like they just scraped through, just survived.
It's like an Elden Ring style game, but more intimate.
Mel knows Senua better than anyone, better than I do. Her instincts are amazing, and she really doesn't need much help from me. On stage, our main focus is storytelling. So I get to watch the actors and see all the beautiful expressions on their faces. And then I have to wait a little while, and then I get to see that all again, in-game, in costume, on location, everything. It's a great experience, a great process.
Every discipline in the studio is unified in achieving a deep level of immersion to help suspend your disbelief and pull you into Senua's story. We were lucky enough to do a few reference gathering trips in Iceland. You have to be there. The sense of scale, everything is incredible. And you see a scene or you see a small section of the game and you're like, yeah, that works, that's amazing.
Senua experiences reality differently, and a part of this manifests in the voices she hears.
She will collapse. She will collapse.
These voices come to life through binaural audio, which provides a good representation of this type of auditory hallucinations. As we focus in immersion, binaural audio is perfect for this because through headphones, you surround yourself in a three-dimensional space. In the first game, we only applied to the voices that Senua listens in her head. in this game, through spatial audio technology and some extra little things within the game, there is music that is binaural. Every single sound has the potential to be binaural, so everything is
This is a
specialized
really,
around you, and it's a very beautiful experience.
How can I put this? You
Music
can
is a
tell
strange
there's like an
language in the
artist,
sense that it
like
speaks
it's
to our emotions
really well presented,
fast and deep,
but it's
not only
presented
about quality,
very
it's about
much with the
personality. So when you
artistry
listen
first,
to Hellblade, you know
it feels
it's
like there's a
Hellblade.
lot of passion, which is something that previous developer conferences,
On the music, we are
developer
working with Highland,
showcases
which for me is a
didn't do
personal
well.
privilege because I really admire them.
You kind of, I feel sucked in, to be fair.
We feel their craft, their depth, their meaning in the music. It really connects with our game and elevates it to something
I don't know if I'm
really
the only one who
special.
sees that.
We are also working with a heavy metal singer, throat singers, and our very own Furies. They sing so beautiful, and we add that binaural touch of music. So this all creates a very immersive and a very special and unique experience.
It's big budget, but it feels like the budget was used right.
Our mission here at Ninja Theory is
The
to
problem I had with
craft
Forza from last
life-changing
year's
art with
showcase
game-changing tech. And that's our
was
aim in
that
Senua's Saga.
there's only so much
Hellblade
they
2
can
is to
define.
not only see where Senua goes
Where it's
next,
hard to
but
understand
to deliver
its passion.
something really
This feels
meaningful
different.
for our players.
My hope is that they will really connect to Senua as a character, and even if they can't really relate to what she's going through, maybe they know someone that relates to that character and they can then understand that person better.
Well, I don't want to sound cheesy, but in a way I'm Senua, right? She exists and doesn't. It exists through all of our work, through every ninja. So we all are Senua, and we are creating this character that grows and grows and grows and grows and keep growing and keep changing. So that makes it real.
I'm so proud of the love, care and passion our team here at Ninja Theory are putting into Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Our hope is to not only create a game that is great to play, but to craft an experience that leaves you thinking and feeling. From our combat gameplay through to our action set pieces, from our cinematic scenes to our puzzle solving, everything is crafted in service of Senua's journey. A journey that you can embark on May 21st.
I didn't realize they had a release date for this. But that's cool that they have it for... Like, this makes it feel like there's a premium to the Xbox brand. This is the conversation that I wanted to have last time. Like, as much as I appreciate what Game Pass brings to the table, this helps bring more to unknown user. Oh, okay. So they've done an extra game. Square Enix, you cheeky basket. Square Enix, hang on. Square Enix. What? What? Oh, okay. If this is what they're gonna do, this is actually great. If this is how they would handle things, that's actually really, really well done.
Greetings, Xbox players. My name is Masaru Oyamada, producer for the Mana series.
The Mana series, let's go.
聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナの情報を Xbox ユーザーの皆さんにいち早くお伝えできる機会をいただけて大変光栄です。コンソールゲームとしては約17年ぶりとなる聖剣伝説シリーズの完全新作。聖剣伝説シリーズは 1991年
Just get rid of the directs altogether. This is what they should be doing. This is much better. This is even better than the PlayStation showcases in some ways because those feel sometimes a bit too overproduced. This feels
武
nice.
器の特性を生かして戦うアクション RPG としてこれまでに17作発売され長らく愛されてきました。本作は30年以上の歴史あるシリーズの最新作となるため、これまで培われてきた聖剣伝説としての世界をしっかり感じられるものを目
My
指し
favorite
て鋭意制作中です。フ
Bad Xbox takes with fans.
ィールド
What
で
are you
は
talking about?
自然や精霊とのつながりを感じられる色彩豊かな聖剣伝説の世界を体験してもらえると思います。シリーズおなじみのモンスターたちも本作に
It's
登場してい
definitely
ます。
you just in time. Square Enix decided to enter the new challenger.
今回これらのおなじみのモンスターたちを作り出した聖剣伝説の生みの親である石井浩一さんとともに聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナの内容を紹介していきたいと思います。
Hello, I am Koichi Ishii from Gretz. I am so happy to introduce the newest game in the Mana series to Xbox players.
You look so
初期の
cool.
頃からシリー
I
ズ
could
作品
imagine
に
him being
登場
like
してい
in a
るモンスタ
Kamen
ーた
Rider
ちが
series.
私が考案したものですが、中には小学生の頃すでにイメージができていたものもあります。今作では初めはドット絵からスタートしたモンスターたちをどのような形で最新化して聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナに落とし込むか、デザインの方向性からモデルの完成イメージまでを監修する立場でプロジェクトに参加しました。聖剣伝説ファイナルファンタジー外伝を作っていた頃から自分の頭の中ではモンスターたちは立体的に生き生きと動いて、これまで自分が携わった作品ではそれらをどうやって当時の技術で表現できるかにこだわって作ってきました。最新作では聖剣伝説のモンスターたちのただ可愛いだけではなく恐ろしさの部分もしっかりと表現できているので、バトル中はモンスターたちの表情にも注目してください。
これまで聖剣伝説シリーズに
I
は
want the little
空を旅す
plushy things in
海
the
を渡る
background.
手
Give
助け
me.
をしてくれる頼もしい仲間たちがいましたが、今作には広大なフィールド探検に欠かせない新たな仲間が登場します。陸上を猛スピードで駆け回ってくれるピックルも石井さんが新たに考案してくださっています。
新たな仲間を考えるにあたっては、
Oh,
今作の
yay.
マスコットキャラクターになるくら
It's big and
い
it
可愛
jumps.
い動物にしたいという漠然とした思いがありました。その上で、
Oh,
ヨー
this
クシ
is
ャ
like
テリア
this
の
game's
毛並み
Torgal, I guess.
見た目はアルマジルによく似た仙山港や古代エジプト神のアヌビスの子供といった具体的なイメージが浮かんできて、それぞれの特徴を取り入れながらラフデザインを書き起こしました。デザイナーにもアイデアを出してもらいながら、足の長さや丸まった時のイメージなどゲームの中での見え方も考えながら調整を重ねていき、ピックルは誕生しました。
もう一つの挑戦は楽曲面です 過去さまざまなコンポーザーが携わられた楽曲の雰囲気が感じられつつも、最新作として素晴らしい新たな楽曲が生まれました。 BGM でもしっかり聖剣伝説シリーズらしさを感じてもらえると思います。過去シリーズの楽曲を手掛けたクリエイターたちが全100曲という大ボリュームの制作に挑んでくれました。
Quite a lot of soundtracks, honestly speaking.
新たな試みとしてフィールドの探索からバトルまでをシームレスに体験できるよう、今作ではインタラクティブミュージックを導入しており、冒険の没入感を高めてくれます。探索中の BGM がバトルに入った瞬間、アレンジが切り替わる様を実際に聞いてみましょ
う。Wow, okay, we're just staying in the air for a long time.
今作はアクション RPG 聖剣伝説のアクション部分が強化されています。空中でのアクションがバトルの鍵となっており、
Oh, wow, okay.
武器での攻撃だけでなく魔法での攻撃も可能になっています。
We're getting some DMC up in here, man.
そして本作ならではの特徴として聖剣伝説シリーズではおなじみの精霊たちがいますが、その力を宿した武器を使うとバトルを手助けしてくれるようになります。精霊によっては様々な特性の違いがありますので、その効果とともに聖剣伝説の世界らしい不思議な力で爽快なバトルを楽しんでいただけます。
Oh, that's cool. You get special finishes.
オリジナルモンスターやピックリにも注目してほしいのですが、聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナは聖剣伝説らしさを感じてもらえる作品になるよう、小山田君を中心にチームのみんなが頑張って作ってくれていますので、ぜひ発売日を楽しみに待っていてください。私自身もプレイするのを楽しみにしています。
聖剣伝説シリーズとして初めて Xbox ユーザーの皆さんにお届けする本作聖剣伝説ビジョンズ・オブ・マナは今後も様々な情報をお届けしていきますので、ぜひご期待ください。この夏この忘れられない冒険を Xbox ユーザーの皆さんに楽しんでいただける日が今から待ちきれません。
It's just saying it's available. It doesn't mean that it's exclusive. So we'll see. But summer 2024, nice. Summer's looking good. We've got one fall, one summer. I think we've got 2 summer, technically. I think one might be classed as spring. Just add in a 6th one just to make things fair. It looks really good. Oxide and neutrino.
Hello, and welcome to Oxide Games. We founded the studio in 2013 with our decades of personal experience building some of the most beloved strategy games of all time, like Civilization V. We came together
Visions
to create
is on
something
everything
new and
except Switch.
innovative in a genre
So,
we all love. Our history
I forgot what
untold is the game we
IIRC
dreamt
stands
of
for,
making.
but I appreciate you telling me,
Is an
Amadeus.
homage to historical gamers,
I really want
strategy
to...
gamers, 4X gamers.
I think it's going to come
It
to
features
Switch,
all the
but
depth
it
and
might
gameplay
be
fans
like...
of this genre
I think
love,
that's the
where you'll
advantage of
explore
having
the world,
a
expand
art
your
style,
nation,
because you can
govern your
optimize,
people,
in
and
my
engage
opinion,
with your
quite far
rivals on the
quicker.
international stage.
It's like
but
when
it isn't just
Ico's,
more of the same.
when Dragon
With
Quest 11
Ara,
came
we
to
wanted
Switch.
to challenge some of the preconceived notions about the genre.
It's on
Push
everything.
it forward
Oh, is
in
it
a
on Switch
modern,
as well?
empowering, and truly
Oh, if I
compelling and
remember
approachable
correctly.
way.
Thanks,
For
Ibs.
example, we have over 100 instruments on display in the office, which are all
Is it coming?
things
Is
that
it
we
coming out at the
purchased in
same
order
time?
to add
I
to the
don't think that's the only
soundtrack
thing we
and
don't know.
expand the game and make it really good. Hi, Dan.
That's cool.
That's Dan. We started in his basement. It's been an amazing process to see from concept to completion.
For East
We started
X.
small, building a robust game
Not Switch,
engine,
not Switch
questioning
now.
our
Oh,
design
okay.
assumptions, and prototyping out features, rediscovering what made us fall in love with strategy games in the first place.
The end result is Ara, the historical grand strategy game that presents a living world where you can
Ara,
rule
ara.
how you want
Hi,
to
Mysterious
rule and chart
Ryan.
your own path to becoming the most
Ara,
prestigious
ara.
nation on the planet.
For Ara, we knew we needed deep systems with outcomes that encourage
I'm
exploration
pretty sure
and
I
give
want
players
them
the
to
power
make
to
that reference
experiment
in the
and make
game
meaningful
just to be-
strategic choices
just because
while still
memes.
having agency over their
Highly
playstyle.
doubt it, but
We
you know.
also wanted to explore more and different parts of history and give players from around the world the chance to see the game reflect their unique perspective and not just ours.
And finally, we knew that for players to feel the impact of their decisions, they would need to see their choices reflected in the game world itself.
So it's like
not just through
Humankind,
numbers on a menu.
if we had to build
One of
a
the first
comparative.
differences you'll see when you dive into Ara is what we call the living world. It's a procedurally generated alternate Earth, bursting with life, an intuitive, authentic, and immersive
life.
space.
So you get to be
a blank
Thanos?
canvas for players to
Visions
paint the
looks
society
really
of their
nice.
dreams.
The living world isn't just
Which
a map.
visions are we talking
it reflects
about,
the choices
Outright?
players make over the course of the game. They can see everything from the settling of the wilderness to cultural influence on architecture over time to the thousands of citizens living their lives and
Oh,
reacting
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
the
Sorry.
changes.
It took me a
We
little
want
while.
players to
I know
feel
we were
like they're
just watching
truly
that.
occupying the world, leading their people as they thrive and grow. Core to the vision of Ara is our philosophy of rule how you want to rule. And no feature better exemplifies this than the prestige system.
To win a game of Ara, players will compete with their rivals to build the most influential, impressive, and important nation the world has ever known. This is measured by prestige, the player's score that proves their worth as a leader.
Ah,
The prestige system gives players the chance to
influencer.
decide what kind of leader they want
Oh.
to be. Do they want to pursue great works of arts and culture?
Yes.
Military.
No! Why are you doing this to me now, game? Ugh.
Scientific advancement. The choice is theirs. In
I
Ara,
like
there
how
are no
one of the mechs looked like a Gundam. One of the military advancements is build a Gundam.
set victory conditions. Players get to decide what is most important to them and focus and prioritize on those goals while still being able to win the game.
Personally, when I play Ara,
And he just stops. When I play Ara, I stop talking.
I like to build triumphs.
There we go.
Triumphs are our collection of incredible monuments and architectural achievements from throughout human history. Like the Great Pyramid of Giza. They're hard.
Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can fix. Is it freezing for anybody else? How do I disable stream closed caption?
Hard to build, but worth it. giving huge prestige bonuses and game-changing abilities to the nation that constructs them.
I'm gonna go to 720p. Just
Mining the natural resources they harvest into all manner of goods and components. Those are the foundation for everything, from international trade to improving their cities and citizens' lives,
won't be as
and
nice
even
looking,
manufacturing the
but it
weapons
means that
necessary to draft
we will be
military
throttled.
units. The crafting system in Ara encourages thoughtful, advanced planning. It rewards players who can see the strategic outcome of all their collective decisions, and not just the individual ones.
I'm proud of the work that's gone into our simultaneous turn system. Many strategy games have players alternate taking turns and reacting to their opponent's moves. In Ara, all players' actions are resolved at the same time. This rewards players' ability to navigate uncertainty, to predict and strategically plan for a variety of scenarios in the moment. This system makes Ara just feel more real.
So is
In
it
a
more
typical
like
strategy game,
it's all
once your
fun and
turn is
games till
finished,
Joan
you
of
have to wait
Arc
for a long
brings
time.
in the
With simultaneous
entire
turns, generally speaking, those times are very low. You get to keep playing the game and stay
Just does
engaged
unlimited
rather
blade
than
work,
having those
just
periods of
brings in Archer for no
downtime
reason.
where you're not doing anything.
It's not easy sifting through all of history and picking what to include. For Ara, we wanted to offer a fresh perspective, so we looked at cultures and societies
Harun
throughout the
al-Rashid.
millennia with the broadest lens possible.
Where this approach really shines
Genghis
is in our
Khan.
leaders. Leaders are so often seen as military personnel or prominent government figures, but leaders come in so many different forms. They're thought leaders, scientific and cultural prodigies, and many more.
Each leader in Ara has a number of special abilities determined by their personality traits, as well as a powerful and unique leader trait, informed by their contributions to world history.
With a diverse global roster, we know players will find leaders that they will want to play. And even a few that may surprise them with how fun it is when those leaders are handed the reins of power.
For us at Oxide, player feedback is the only way to really understand what you're making. It gives us
The
that
hammock
priceless
underneath
perspective from the people we're making Ara for. You.
Building the game alongside real players has given us that critical player feedback. In the end, we believe this makes for a deeper connection between the players and the game.
One of my favorite examples is when we first introduced the concept of dangerous wildlife to the game. It turns out, in our first iteration, it was maybe a little bit too aggressive or disruptive. We knew we should probably make a change when one of our insiders made a forum post that was just,
Cougars, cougars,
Cougars, I hate cougars!
"Someone get these feline demons away from me." I'm happy to report, based on more recent feedback, that I think we ended up in a good place with the overall threat level of mountain lions to a player's citizenry.
It's been years of hard work to bring you a strategy experience like no other. And we're so excited that we can finally see the finish line. We can't wait for players to get their hands on the game later this year.
But the
these
launch
are all
of
coming
Ara
this
is
year?
only the beginning. We are going to maintain our insider program after the release date and continue to listen to players and support the game into the future.
On behalf of everyone at Oxide Games, thank you for joining us today. We can't wait for you to play Ara and to create your own history.
Fall 2024. PC and PC Game Pass. Okay. Is that everything? Oh no, this is the Indiana Jones game now, right? I'm just wondering if they're gonna bring in a final title just to be like, and one more thing. It was like, well, that's how you would hype that up.
Hej och välkommen till Uppsala, Sverige, här hos Machine Games. We are really excited to finally be
Sweden,
able to
Kaze
share our
lives
work
there.
on Indiana Jones. Since the first film came out, Indiana Jones has always represented the ultimate adventure. Even today, it's one of the most iconic franchises in pop culture. In this game, you aren't just playing as Indy, you are Indiana Jones. You will
No,
see
he
through
said
his
flam.
eyes and experience a journey that we hope lives up
Oh,
to the
Philip.
proud legacy
Sorry.
of Indiana Jones. When
Just like us
Todd
inch.
Howard first told us about his vision for the game, we knew we would be a very good fit to help bring it to life.
He's
I've
one
wanted
of
to make an
us.
Indiana Jones game forever. I'd had this idea for what it would be like and the story, what
Oh,
Indy
no,
was going
it's just
after,
Works
what
guy.
period of his life it was in, what kind of arc he was going to
I'm
have.
expecting Vin Diesel
and
to show
as the
up out
years
of
went
nowhere
on,
and
I
say
thought,
game
who would
developers
be
is all
like
about
the
family.
best studio in the world to make this, and it was my friends at Machine
Come
Games.
watch a film in our watch
I
party.
can remember
Yes,
pitching
you should
Lucasfilm
change
on
it
the
to
game
film
and being,
party.
you know, a little bit nervous because
Indies
look,
whip. It
you know,
just
Indiana
works.
Jones, and their response was just overwhelmingly positive, and just that excitement has bled through the whole project, and they have just been so trusting and supportive of everything that we want to do with the game. It's been a long time. I've been a fan of this my whole life, and I couldn't be more excited to show you what the team here has been up to. Let's take our first look at the new Indiana Jones game.
I don't know. This one feels a bit odd in terms of
Let me
like.
tell
I know
you
it's.
what you are missing.
No one gets more excited about nothing. Is
While you were playing your pointless game, I was playing you. You're wondering if maybe you should have built yourself a life of meaning instead of ending up here, dead and forgotten in the sense of Africa.
Wow, they got Harrison Ford? Well, I guess you can't not have Harrison Ford. Oh, they had to make that the point. Okay.
History. Just different ways to interpret the past. Thousands of years of humanity's thoughts and beliefs, scattered and buried. Just waiting to be found.
You can't just run away from your problems, Indiana.
Watch me.
Hey, I do like the vibes of it so far. Oh, of course they're gonna have the Wilhelm.
Throughout history, mankind has built sites of
the Wilhelm screams also
great
just
spiritual significance. If you were to draw a line through these ancient sites around the globe,
it's Saturn.
You get a perfectly aligned circle.
Hey, the theme that will probably get us TNT.
I've had run-ins with these guys before. Trust me, it ain't a walk in the park.
Okay, then. Let's see if you can keep up.
What do you mean if I could keep up?
I wonder when this is set.
Patron of the fallen angels. Protector of the Circulimani. The Great Circle.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Name drop.
You have any idea how old that was?
I can't tell if they got Indiana or they got a voice match.
Indiana Jones is such
Pierre
an
Valkyrie.
iconic character, and he means so much to so many people.
Everyone here at the studio has their own indie stories
Hey.
and memories. Most of us grew up with his adventures and have been fans of the movies and the character for years.
He's a brilliant archaeologist, he's a charismatic everyman, he's passionate and determined. And for us, he's synonymous with adventure.
This
Now
is the
we
game that will have the
opportunity
pressure.
to tell a new Indiana Jones story for a modern gaming audience. Our game is all about putting you in Indy's shoes, letting you see and feel what he sees and feels. For us at Machine Games, we do that best through first person. It's the ideal perspective to bring you into the rich, exciting, and interactive world we've built. We believe that being up close and personal to the adventure is key, making each action feel like your own.
So like first person Uncharted
Whether
mixed with
it's
Lara
cracking
Croft.
your whip, solving puzzles in ancient temples, or seeing your knuckles go bloody in a fistfight, all of these moments are much more intense in first person.
But we still want you to have those moments. Seeing his iconic silhouette with the hat, the whip, and so for things like cutscenes and environmental traversal, we pull the camera back for a third-person view. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is set between Raiders of the Lost Ark and The Last Crusade.
So the entire series.
When our game begins, Indiana is working
Ark.
at Marshall College. He wakes up in the middle of the night to the sounds of a break-in and rushes to confront the thief in the college museum. The mysterious giant of a man makes off with what seems to be a historically insignificant artifact, sparking Indiana's curiosity.
Who the hell are you?
Following the trail, Indiana heads to the Vatican, hoping to learn why this particular
Depends
relic
what it
was
did in
stolen,
Wolfenstein.
and discovers that things aren't what they appear.
He starts pulling at the strings of a mystery, and it all unravels until he has no choice but to see it through to the end, whatever the end may be.
It's awfully vague. It's awfully vague.
Maybe in Vatican. Stop. Indy.
We always talk about how clever Indiana Jones is. That had to be one of our guiding principles when we were thinking about the type of game we were making. It wouldn't be Indy if he wasn't using his wits to get through the situation. The
Oh, that's
most
nice. We get to
authentic
have, like,
Indiana
Resident
Jones
Evil style
experience
puzzles.
we can make is the one that makes you think first.
Sure, there will be some obstacles that will be more easily overcome with the revolver or a gun taken from a disarmed guard. But I think most of the time you'll have more fun, and to be honest, a more genuine indie experience by finding more clever ways to solve a problem.
We always want to be offering more solutions, whether it's trying a different path through the environment to get around enemies, observing enemy patrols and using them to your advantage, or using the tools at your disposal, like the whip.
It's an amazing global adventure with action propelling you through your journey.
We have these really diverse environments for you to explore. Indy's journey will take him to the forgotten temples of Sukhothai, the pyramids of Egypt, the snow-peaked Himalayas, and beyond.
We look carefully at each location and the time period the game is set in, and we're trying to make it as authentic and accurate as possible.
We love creating rich, vibrant worlds, and in this game, we also had the goal of making it feel like a true cinematic Indiana Jones adventure.
One of the biggest ways to do that is with the music. John Williams is the original composer for the indie films.
I hope
we're
so.
really lucky to have found Gordy Hub, a composer who's been able to capture Williams' essence with his score for The Great Circle.
We also take a very movie-like approach to things like cinematics. We're very physical with our production style. We use a lot of stunt actors.
Oh, that's pretty
Things like
fun. That
this
looks
help
pretty
us
cool.
bridge the gap between making a game and making a movie.
And of course, our characters do a lot to help bring the world to life as well. Next to Indy, Gina is our other main protagonist. Where
think that's
Indy
the
is
original
pursuing
character,
answers
right?
just for the sake of curiosity, Gina has a personal stake in getting to the bottom of the core mystery.
Gina is an investigative reporter who has a lot riding on this adventure. She's been tracking a lead for some time, and now she's found an ally in this determined American professor. Their paths are intertwined, and they'll need each other in order to get to the bottom of this mystery.
Okay, then. Let's see if you can keep up.
Fight. What do you mean if I can keep up?
We always love our villains.
At the
I think we
moment,
might
it's just
have
all the
found
same.
Our favorite one yet in Emmerich Voss. He's this intensely psychological man. He's obsessed with the human mind and manipulating it.
He's highly intelligent and the perfect foil for Indy. They're both brilliant people, compelled by their passions and obsessions, but driven down wildly different roads.
He creeps up on you and gets under your skin like he gets under Indy's skin. It's captivating.
Dead and forgotten in the sense of Africa.
One of our mottos for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is adventure first. But in every indie adventure, there are always those moments where he finds himself in the action.
That's been one of those balancing acts for us, and we've ended up with this sort of hybrid experience that mixes melee combat, stealth, and gunplay.
How you approach any given situation is up to you. You may choose to sneak around an enemy patrol, or maybe you'll just pick up a shovel and whack them on the back of their head. And when you can't use your wits, you got Indy's most iconic tool. Just like you see in the movies, one of our goals
Everyone has
to
a
make
whip
the
on-
as
everyone
fun
gets
and
a free whip at
multi-purpose as
machines
possible.
games.
We want it integrated into every aspect of the game.
You can use it as a traversal tool to make your way around the environment. You can use it as a distraction.
Oh, that's cool.
And yes,
I like that.
You can absolutely use it in combat. Everything you'd expect from Indie's whip. And hopefully...
I hope there's an achievement of just using the Indie whip.
Puzzles are a key feature in our game. The spirit of discovery is so important to Indiana Jones. Obviously, there are a handful of puzzles on the main path, but a lot of the puzzles are optional and are just there for the players who want to experience them.
Oh, that's nice.
Epic traps,
that's good. That is
small secrets, and hidden puzzles that blend right in with their surroundings.
One thing I love about our game is the level of interactivity that we have. We have this world of mystery where anything could potentially hide a secret. The more you look, the more you'll discover.
Whip percentage coming soon to games done quick near you. I hope there's. I think that should be the only one. It'll be whip percent, gun percent, and puzzles only. All puzzles.
You gotta be kidding me.
I want to thank you all for joining us for our big reveal of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Machine Games is known for creating these rollercoaster experiences with huge set pieces, surprising twists, and immersive narratives. It's exciting for us that we have been able to stay so true to the Indiana Jones franchise and create such an authentic experience while still being able to showcase what makes us us. We are making a game for everyone, whether you are very familiar with the franchise or not. Because at the heart of Indiana Jones is an incredible adventure, and I think that's something
Indie
everyone
operator
wants to be
bundle,
part of.
please. Your own card.
I'm also very excited to announce that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will be coming later this year, and we cannot wait to share more
wow,
soon.
Just Todd in the background. If I whip the wall in a very specific way, just beats every boss and just pushing them off. The Great Circle is just a reference to Pizza Planet from Toy Story. Is it coming to every console, or is it? It should be. It's just the Xbox, right? Have I got that right? Is that my understanding? Oh, okay. Just Xbox and PC, okay. Okay, so the showcase is done. I thought this was a much better showcase than last year's showcase.
Should it take one?
Is it animals, children, and game developers?
Our mission here at Ninja Theory is to craft
I like this a
life-changing
lot.
art with game-changing tech.
I like.
Core to the vision of Ara is our philosophy of rule how you want to rule.
They always like showing the
Stay
bike clip.
Creating an immersive experience like
You
Avowed
have to
is
play the
anchored in the
first
world
Hellblade.
we build.
Such a well read. I've heard many good things about it. I feel like I
You
would
aren't
enjoy
just
it.
playing as
or
Indy, you
probably
are
cry.
Indiana Jones.
My name is Masaru Oyamada。今作はアクション RPG 聖剣伝説のアクション部分が強化されています。
This was definitely a nice surprise. I actually think it's the opposite. I think a lot of people know about it, but they're kind of wary about starting it. Didn't show the dyslexic part where you type watching wrong and then bring it back in. Elder Scrolls Online! Next up, wait, when is this? Next up on Twitch Bethesda, 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 9 p.m. I'm okay, I don't need to watch this one, luckily. I don't need to watch Bethesda for this. But I think that's everything. Is that everything? Just to make sure it's gone offline? In 10 minutes. I ain't watching that. I don't need to watch that. Anyway. So, much better than last year's showcase, which is really good. I really appreciate. The one thing I like how they watch it. We need more bad takes. I've never had a bad take in my life. Clearly. Oh look, there's the Cockney Charmer. Thanks for watching and everyone hanging out. Yeah, what was I saying? What was I saying? Yeah, the main thing I kind of took away is